My name is Mærsk Mc-Kinney Møller. I was born July 13, 1913 in Hellerup, Denmark. Just 1 year after my father, Arnold Mærsk, founded a new shipping company. When I was a young boy, there were not too many people who would imagine I would grow up to be a respected, unrivaled, and sometimes feared leader in the company. My father preferred me being a doctor, but I had no interest in the medical profession. I was hooked on ships. After finishing school, I worked as an apprentice with the C.K. Hansen Shipping Company in Copenhagen. I also worked in Germany between March 1933 and April 1934. To come to Germany during that period was risky for young people. Hitler had just appeared on the scene. There was high unemployment down there here at home. When I returned to Denmark, I served my country's national service requirement in the army from April to September of 1934. I was promoted to my first management position in my father's company in 1938. On May 22, 1940, I married Emma Rasmussen in a church in the churches north of Copenhagen. 2 days later, I was made a partner of my father's company. After the German occupation of Denmark in April 1940, contact was lost with most of our vessels. Emma and I thirdly left for New York to regain control of the vessels. My first of my 3 daughters was born in 1941, second in 1944, both in New York, and my youngest was born in 1948 in Copenhagen. When I returned to Denmark in 1947, it was not said directly, but it was obvious that when I returned to America, I would end up as number 1 if I behaved and properly was clever enough. I gradually took on more responsibility. In 1965, I became the CEO of the Mærsk Group. During my tenure at the helm of Mærsk, I donated a lot of money to many projects. For an example, the Black Diamond, a big library in Copenhagen, the Copenhagen Opera House, Miliehaven, and Mini School. I stepped down as CEO in 1993 and finally retired chairmanship in 2003. Any questions?
Irena Sendler. I was born to a Roman Catholic family on February 15, 1910. My father, who was a doctor, often worked with patients whom his colleagues refused to treat, many of whom were Jewish. When I was 7, my father died from typhus. The Jewish community donated money for me to go to school. I think they did this in gratitude for what my father had done for them. I studied Polish literature at the University in Warsaw. I was suspended for a few years when I protested against the bench ghetto system, a segregation policy at Polish universities. In 1939, the German occupation started in Poland. Many Jewish people were forced to live in the ghettos. I knew that I must help the families that were stuck in the ghettos. As an employee of the Social Welfare Department, I had a special permit to enter the Warsaw ghetto to check for signs of typhus, something the Nazis feared would spread beyond the ghetto. Once inside, I would find a family and help the children escape. I worked with an underground resistance organization group called Dakota in Warsaw. I would hide the children in suitcases, boxes, large sacks, and even coffins. I would sometimes give them drugs to help sleep and conceal their cries. When I delivered them to safety, I would give them false documents. On small pieces of paper, I would record their names. I would put these papers in a jar. These jars I then buried in a friend's gardens. I later hoped that I would be able to reunite them with their families. Eventually, the Germans captured me. They broke my legs and arms. They tried to force me to reveal those who helped me and then the names of the families I had helped. But I refused. The Nazi sentenced me to death, but I managed to evade execution and survive the war. You probably wouldn't know much about me if it hadn't been for 4 young girls in New York who would have played about me for a history school project.